Welcome to the Texas Cornhole Show. My name is Grant Upchurch. This is my co-host, Jonathan Zarzinski, and then the guy who brings the soul and the vibe to the building, Baron Hodo.
All right. Thanks once again for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
You're going to be here every time, so
almost
thanks
every
for
time,
staying.
right? Unless you have a really good excuse.
Yes.
Right. Well, I love being here. I appreciate you.
Like a haircut, you know. So we just wrapped up from Signature Series over in Shreveport. It was a great time, great vibe. They rearranged the courts. It was a new kind of environment they were doing. And it seemed pretty nice, seemed pretty successful. Everyone seemed to like it. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I spent 3 hours there. I showed up right before everybody left for the break. But I liked how the pit was moved to kind of the center and the area that they had for everybody to sit down and watch the college games. Right?
Yes.
That was awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah, and there were some great games this weekend. So during the breaks and stuff, it was kind of a great environment to be around that.
Best game of the weekend, Coach Prime. I'm still on that bandwagon, dude.
The best thing about it ending so late, but the championships were over, right? And we went back up to the room, turned on the TV. It's midnight, and we're like, "Oh, let's watch the overtime to the Colorado game."
Oh yeah, because you were playing the Sig, and then you got that's pretty awesome, and it was a great overtime. It was so exciting.
It was great.
Yeah, Coach Prime, man, not cussing. I want to try to be like Coach Prime and not cuss. It might be like Coach Prime mentality. You know, instead of cussing, I'm going to use terms like bull junk. It's a bunch of bull junk. Have you heard him say that one?
I haven't, but that's a good one.
Yeah, he says some great stuff, man. Another one that I really liked was we lie so much we don't even know what the truth is. Something like that. I like that one. All right, moving on. Coach Prime in Buffalo, though, is best story in sports right now, if you ask me.
Yes, easy. You hear about the sunglasses deal?
1.1 million in a day or something?
Yes, like he signed a deal. There's $67 sunglasses, 1.2 million in a day.
Dude, that guy's been a marketing genius from day one.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wonder if we can get him to throw some cornhole bags.
Yes, put Prime on them.
Yeah, Prime bags. I wonder what deal he would want. Probably a pretty big one. All right, cool. So this is the SIG recap show. In our last show before SIG, we did do our pick'ems. I mean, should we start with the pick'ems?
Yeah, and it can be a real quick one, too.
Well, I think the most important question is, what is your jersey size?
XL, and I want a cool jersey.
Yeah?
You know, you have clean jerseys, so I want it to be clean, but... Yeah, it sucks that I literally got 9th, and this is what I had to do better than 9th.
Better than 9th.
And I got 9th.
You know, on the way home, I was thinking how it was a terrible bet. For those who don't know, Grant and I bet. I picked him at 9th. He said he was going to do better than 9th, and then you brought up the idea of a bet. Loser has to wear the other guy's jersey for SIG.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll make you your own jersey, man. You can pick the colors. We'll put your name on the back. I'm working on a new Team Big D design. It's pretty legit.
Okay. I mean, I'm down. I'm down. I mean, obviously, I have to be down. I'm down. I'll wear my little singles run I make next time, but
yeah,
9th, man, I finished right there.
Right there, right on the number. Boom, got me 2 points.
It could have very easily not been 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you threw really well all weekend. I mean, your PPR was really high. It was the highest, right?
Yeah, it's just, I never really have high PPR, so I was kind of, I don't know what I was doing differently. But I was throwing commandments. They were money.
Yeah, that's a lot of people are throwing that bag.
Yeah, it's money. And
really
then
popular.
Saw Lost Sloths around.
Yep.
That bag was doing some crazy things. Hayden Morris was doing some nutty things with the sloth.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Hayden Morris. I think he's the one who got second.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, what do you know about him?
Oklahoma kid, super humble, super nice. I think 16, 17.
Okay.
Something right in there. More reserved. You know, he felt like he was a little slept on going into the SIG, but we didn't have enough info on him to really know how good he was. And he was tearing it up. He was throwing sloths because that was what he was throwing the next day with Chase. And, dude, flopping them, rolling them. At the end of the day, you know, you run into Justin in the championship. You know, you do whatever you can do and hope Justin's off, but he's down the middle. You know?
I mean, Justin looked really good this weekend from what I was able to see of him playing. Just down the middle, really good player. I thought the break would be good for him. It seems like it was. I mean, he looked like the older Justin that was kind of dominant for the few months. I'm wondering if he's going to kick off the season with more dominance.
Well, it's so funny when you see someone like Justin and even Logan, those guys, and Grant, and people that have been there so many times, how comfortable they are on the main stage. And
yeah.
You see people, newcomers. Hayden didn't really show it, but some of the others that were new to the main stage, you could tell that it was a different environment for them, and I wouldn't say they struggled, but you could definitely tell nerves were a part of it.
So Betty Seymour, the video that has been going around. By the way, Bag Season is doing an amazing job of pumping out great social media content. That video is awesome. I've watched it 10 times. I need to save it and like pull it up in the middle of a round, or between rounds maybe, so I could watch it, remind myself to have fun while you're playing cornhole.
Yes.
It's supposed to be fun. Was that on the main stage?
It was.
That was on the main stage.
That was on the main stage in front of everybody. She was having a great time, throwing some great bags. It was a really cool moment for her, too, is that Johnny Seymour, her husband, was doing the live feed. He was the announcer on the live feed, so he got to commentate the game. And he said afterwards, I'm trying not to be partial, but it's really hard not to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if I can splice some of that in on the YouTube part of our show, because she's just having a good time dancing, smiling. And if you haven't seen it, it's just a great little cut, a great little snippet, a video that they put together over at Bag Season. It's awesome.
It really should be the highlight reel for TCL, right, or any other,
I mean, that's what Texas Cornhole League is, right?
That's right, and that's when we all started playing this game, that's what it was all about: having fun with your buddies and throwing bags and just enjoying the moment. And she certainly did that, and it shows in that video.
Yeah, playing with John Terry.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a good old time. And that's not the only time they played together. Apparently, they've played together a lot of times. John Terry and
probably so. You want to have some sort of chemistry with your partner, right?
Yeah, be like Betty.
Be like Betty.
I want to be like Betty. If I could have that mindset, that attitude, I would play a lot more SIG Series. I think I would get back into it. But I find it stressful. I do. And she's not stressed out. She's having a great time.
Yeah. She's been playing for a long time, too. So for her to keep that energy over that long period of time is awesome.
All right, cool. So Pick'ems, I won again because SPR is the number one tool that predicts player outcomes. Benjamin Boudou and his team have put together a tool that is the best tool to determine how good a player is, I think. And I just have been sticking to it. It's been working pretty good.
I mean, I do think that is a way of measuring players and that it is good, but I do think it still has its weakness, kind of like how TCL rankings weakness right now. And it's, if you're in a weak area and you're winning a lot of games, your SPR is going to go up. That's just how it is.
There was no reason for TCL to come up with their own system. Just use SPR. It already exists. Just use it. That's what I think.
I don't hate it. So
it's just really difficult right now to argue with you, right, when you win.
Yeah, I can't. What am I supposed to say?
I just saw my soapbox. Yeah.
I would say congratulations to your top 4 or 5 picks. Yeah, they got there, but what about your other picks that weren't even close?
That didn't even, yeah. Well, because what it doesn't take into account, and I don't think you can ever get this, is how you perform on the big stage. I think the nerves, I mean, I talk about it a lot. I'm pretty open about it. Like when I go to these big tournaments, I get tight, I get anxious, and I don't play very well. And some guys don't. And they seem to turn that energy into like a positive, like they thrive in the moment, And that SPR does not take into account that.
It's just game by game.
Yeah.
What was really interesting about this SIG is that there was a lot of big name players that people have been watching, since in the last season, start of this season, that have just been really excelling on the boards that struggled in this SIG. So it was interesting to see.
Ooh, I don't know if you want to call out people that are struggling.
I didn't.
You didn't. You were careful.
People. That's right.
Well, and, here I'm gloating a bit and bragging a little bit because I did win. But Logan and Johnny could have been beaten so many times, right? They lost their first match. They get into the losers bracket or the comeback bracket, and they start battling back. And I was watching them. Dylan and Anthony had them down a lot, and they just got back in it and won. And then a couple other teams, just had them down, and they just came back to win. And Logan Chamberlain did the same thing in singles. Got down. It seems like the kid doesn't wake up until he needs to give the other side a good 10-point lead or something like that.
It's a bad habit to have, though, because it can bite you in the ass real quick.
Yeah. They lost their first game, right?
I believe so. I don't have it in front of me, but from memory, I think they lost their very first match. And then from the comeback bracket, came back and had multiple big comebacks in the comeback bracket to get to the finals to triple dip Sammy and Kale.
Yes.
Which, I mean, Kale's a great kid. Love the kid. Don't want to say anything negative about him. But I think maybe the pressure got to him or he had a wrinkle in his pitch.
It's a different environment. That was his first time experiencing it, really.
Yeah.
So he's been on the main stage before, but it's been in Tier 2. So that was his first time Tier 1 playing with Sammy. You have to be the one that gets triple dipped. I mean, all the pressure's on him, and he did throw good, and he executed when he needed to, but I think it was just a nerve thing. It was just his first time being there.
And I'll also say in those 3 games, those championship games, Johnny's an amazing player, right? But he threw straight gas. I mean, he was outstanding in those 3 games.
Yeah.
Logan was too, obviously. But
just to be straight up, though, there was a frame towards the end of the final one. I thought Johnny blew it because he threw it straight off the back of the board.
I remember.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, I do remember that one. He's like, no. It was the very first bag, I think.
Yeah, very first bag, bam, off the bag. I was like, oh, there it is. And, I just see the moment there. That's your chance to win, and got a little nerve.
Yeah, Kale, I don't know if it was nerves, because sometimes you get a mechanics issue, right? Nerves don't help it, of course. But I watched their very first match in the bracket. So it was a best of 2, and they lost their first match. And Kale was leaving the bag in the same spot, the same miss over and over, is to his right of the hole. And I don't know if that's nerves. Sometimes you get a little wrinkle in your mechanics, and when you see the same miss over and over again, I think it's more of a little. You can get home, work it out, come back, and
he said the bags were sticking to his hand because I know Sammy's Envies are really dirty, slow.
Yes,
and so he was saying that the bag was sticking to his hand a lot. He was thinking about getting his throwing glove out.
Oh yeah,
but, yeah.
Is it that Spartan one with the fingertips?
I don't know which one it is. I just know he has one. He busts it out for rare occasions.
That's one of those things where I do not let myself buy the throwing glove because it's another thing that I don't need to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
But I do get sweaty palms. Maybe I should get it.
Have you seen any elite players use the throwing glove?
Ryan Smith. He's a pro, but he's pretty much the only one.
Cool. Well, congratulations to Johnny. I know he's been playing a lot. He's really good. He's been wanting to win a SIG, and he got one. And they're paired up for the rest of the season. From what I understand, elites are locked in. So if you're not an elite, you're not going to become an elite. So Johnny and Logan are going to be a couple of the favorites for the rest of the season. So, congratulations to those guys. Second place, Kale and Sammy. And then third place, you guys remember?
VG and K Money.
That's right.
VG and K Money. That has to be the story of the whole SIG, though.
Yes, fresh faces, man. It's so nice to see a new face.
And especially such a young kid like K Money, throwing the way he did with BG. And BG's obviously been there for a long time, but hasn't gotten back up to that main stage since him and Juan last season.
Yeah.
So, that was a really cool thing to see. We played them. We went to 3 games. K-Money was on fire, man. He was throwing great.
Tell us about K-Money. I don't know much about him.
K-Money is from, the Farmersville area, the Greenville area. He is 10 or 11. I think he just turned 12. His birthday was literally this past week.
Nice.
So on his birthday week, he plays with BG in the Signature Series.
Yeah, man.
Super nice kid, super calm. He can do all the stuff. The shot I'm most impressed with from him is his left to right shot because not many players have it or utilize it.
Like a reverse cut kind of move?
Yes. His reverse cut's money. He can push, he can flop, he can airmail. The dude's just great. So to see him get that big win with BG is huge.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing better than seeing his smile, too, right?
Yeah.
He knew he threw well. Just seeing him smile and get congratulations from the crowd and see him excel in that moment was just amazing to watch. So outstanding job by K-Money.
So, and then BG, sticking with him, too, and not just playing his game. Let Clayton do what he does. He did what he does. And they just made a great run, And of course, when they hit that wall, when you got to play against a Sammy and a Kale, that's understandable, right? Especially for K Money, who hasn't been in that upper stage yet. But yeah, great talent.
To say something about BG too, I think he's the perfect partner in that moment for K Money, right?
Yeah,
he's just got the great demeanor. He's very supportive. He's kind of like a fatherly figure out there.
Yeah.
And everyone respects him, and so I think this is a great pair.
Yeah, for sure. I got to watch him just a little bit, and it was a lot of fun to watch him. BG is such a good dude.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, fourth place, Luke Anderson and Kobe Alley. Funniest thing about this to me was Luke throwing Krakens, because he's been on 2 different bag company teams in the last 2 years. The kid always throws Krakens. It's like Taylor Stone, throw this kid a bone already. Bring him on board. He loves those bags. He loves them.
He throws them great.
Yeah, he does. Throws them great. And Kobe Alley threw them great, too. So Kobe got... third place, right? Almost made it to Open. He's the finals. Another kind of new face in TCL, right?
Yeah, he played a little bit last season, but not known yet.
Yeah, I think people know him now.
People know him now. Made a great run.
Yeah,
Bandit Queens?
Yeah, he was throwing Bandit Queens in Open singles and loves them. He's telling me that he loves them. So he won himself a custom set, a Big D Bandit Queens TCL stamped.
Very nice. Working
on the design right now. Although he's one of those guys, I was like, all right, you got custom bags. What do you want? And his response was, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, what color do you like? He's like, I'm not really sure.
So he is playing with Sammy next SIG.
locked in for my first place pick. I don't care what the SPRs are.
No, the SPR is your proven metric for.
I got to stick to that?
Yes. You don't get to get off that after hyping it up.
Well, we'll see. Because I think Johnny's jumped up after winning all those games. So Johnny and Logan are going to have a massive SPRs going into the next SIG. Because Johnny's probably not going to play anything until the next SIG.
There's several months until then. And I'd also like to see how Johnny does. Okay, you're at the top of the mountain now, so now we expect it. What are you going to do?
Well, he adapted. I mean, they barely made it out of rounders. They barely made tier 1. They were 3-3, and I went over to Johnny just to let him know I was rooting for him. And he was throwing those Hades, which he's just not used to. So he had to adjust and fight back. So I think he proved it SIG 1 that, he can handle the pressure.
I think it's two different things we're talking about here, though.
Handling the pressure
when
versus...
you're at the top versus when you're just trying to claw your way back. It's two very different things, two very different feelings.
We'll talk about it. What do you mean?
You'll just see it. We'll see what happens.
I'll never see it. Oh, you mean I'll see it from this perspective?
When you're fighting to get somewhere and then when you're fighting to stay on top of something. It's two different things.
Well, I think they're going to be more locked in and going to be really tough. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. We're talking open doubles. Anybody know fifth off the top of their head? Mr. Chase Lester and Hayden Morris. Yeah, so Hayden and Kobe are both some fresh faces, newer faces, at least from my perspective, that play at the top tier. Chase Lester, we all know, is really good. No surprise there.
He can just do things with bags other people can't.
And they were throwing the sloths?
Yep.
Which I think is my favorite center bag. Well, depends on board conditions. The Wrath, pretty awesome. I digress. Fifth place, Ty Thompson, Bryce Forbes.
Yep, they were throwing sticky greeds.
Bryce is another one I don't know really very much. Is he a fresh face?
Newer face, fresh face. I don't know how much TCL he plans on playing. I think him and Ty kind of got to know each other a little bit more at Worlds and decided to partner up. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make more of them, though, because he doesn't live close.
Where does he live?
I believe Louisiana, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay, so Shreveport was kind of close to him?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you think he liked the excitement so much it'll force him to come back?
I think he enjoyed himself a lot, so I can definitely see him coming back.
What were they throwing? Greeds?
Sticky greeds.
Sticky greeds, not just any old greed.
No, they were throwing sticky greeds.
All right, and then we've got Fletcher Johnson and Jacob Watley.
Solid team.
Another team that just let Logan and Johnny by. They had him. They got tied for 7th, it looks like. And I don't know what they were throwing. Probably those, I don't know. An OC bag is my assumption.
I think they were throwing bag brokers.
Oh, were they? Like a gambler?
No, I think they were throwing... I'm not 100% certain, but I think when I saw them playing, they were throwing a bag broker bag.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sure Fletcher is used to those bags. And then Brennan Bennett and Zachary Faulkner, 7th. Type T7.
That's a lot of chemistry right there. They play a ton together.
Yeah.
They were throwing green Hades that's been around the block a million times. You can't even tell what the bag is anymore.
Right.
So beat
it's so
up.
Dirty and black and dark.
But, Brendan's figured out that bag. He's figured out how to play with Zach, and Zach knows how to play with Brendan. They're just comfortable, and they made their run.
Well, good for them, man.
Brendan's a great guy. I've only met him a couple of times and had the privilege of playing in a switch with him, so he's a great guy. And obviously Zach is too, so.
All right, well, singles, no surprise. Justin Burton Jr., top of the pile. I was number 1 SPR. And he won it, and he defeated Hayden, one of the newer people, right?
Yeah.
Hayden Morris. Yeah. And then, sorry. Don't have it all loaded up. That's cool. When I was sitting in traffic, you guys were getting prepared for this episode, right?
Yeah.
You guys know who the singles guys are, right?
Yep, and let's also add the note that you're the closest here.
Yeah. Trust me, I did not want to be sitting on I-30 for minutes.
All right, so what we're going on singles?
Yeah, open singles. Any idea who won? I know first and second. And third, of course, is Kobe.
I don't have the full singles list. I'm sure I can get it.
Well, while you guys look that up, I'll fill this dead air with Ponderings by Schnizzle Popperski.
Kobe Alley got third, Logan Chamberlain fourth, Cannon Hatcher fifth, tied with Mason Vega fifth. Mason let Logan slide by.
Another one.
20-1. They had no business winning that game, but slid right on by.
Mason kind of just like, during some rounds, in my mind, what I think he was thinking is, okay, fine, I didn't get it this. I only need 1 point. I didn't get it this time. All right, I'm going to get this next time. I didn't get my 1 point this time. I'm going to get it this time.
So apparently there's a frame that just something happened where...
At the end, he threw one off, and he thought he put it in the hole. So he thought he had to board it and had another chance, and no. He boarded it for the loss. He had to shoot that bag, and he didn't know. So he thought the match was still going, and Logan was like, good game. And he was like, wait, what, it's over?
And then Mason took down Sammy, who Mason's just got something figured out against Sammy. Not sure what it is, but he's got to figure it out. Need to ask him.
What it is?
Yeah. Fletcher Johnson got 7th. Chase Lester, Brandon Martinez, Luke Anderson, Ty Thompson got 9th. Nothing too crazy about the singles things. Like I mean, we kind of talked about it in the prior episode that once you started getting into that upper bracket, who's getting hot, who's making runs, more so than anything. It's not really. We expect to see the same names up there every time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hayden and Kobe were kind of a surprise, right? Just because a lot of people didn't know.
Surprise for us, but I guess Oklahoma guys, they
knew.
They knew. So, good runs. And then just to shout out some advanced.
Well, I'll shout out Carlos Guzman, Tier 2 advanced champion with his buddy, another Guzman.
Saw that. That was a good game. Yeah. It was close, wasn't it?
It was close, yeah. They're battling it out, throwing Archangels.
Advanced doubles, Tier 1, Tyler Vasquez and Zane Thompson played, Corey Serrata and Curtis Oldenburg. And I think Corey and Curtis got the double dip.
They did.
And the crowd went wild.
It was a crazy, crazy good championship match. They had a battle for sure.
Yeah, it was a good fight. I think Zane had a couple chances to end it and just a hair away. Just a hair away every single time. But it was a great game. Great games. Really cool. They're flopping. They're making bags move. They're doing some cool stuff.
They were. TV was throwing great. Tyler Vasquez was throwing great. But Corey on the other side was throwing amazing. He was doing some crazy things with the bag, like you said. Flops was unbelievable. So it was a lot of fun to watch.
And then the Advanced Singles Championship, Jace Rodriguez, a.k.a. J-Baby, wins it all, and Caden Fife came in second place. J-Baby made his run doing his thing. Obviously has a ton of talent, J-Baby, right? And I know it's a kid.
Here it comes.
I'm going to just say it out loud. I know it's a kid, but you can't be the one that starts balling every single time you lose and you start winning and you want to start celebrating on your opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Someone needs to get in his ear and tell him that's not all right, because I'll get some haters on you really fast. So whoever needs to tell him, hey, don't be doing the celebrating stuff. You're going to do the crying stuff. None of that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sound advice.
And then we got to give a little shout out.
Wait a
place, Advanced Singles.
Tier 1.
There we go.
Tier 1.
Not Tier 2. Tier 1.
The Baron Hodo.
We finally made a little run, right? Lost my first game. Made it through the bracket. Had some tough games, but then you get to see me run out of gas pretty quick up there.
Yeah, but it was funny, though, because Baron, is obviously working the center booth. For all of us sitting here, it's not just playing cornhole.
Yeah.
We got other things going on. And Baron walks away from the booth and says, I'll be right back. Is gone for hours. Next thing you know, his name pops up on the main stage. Here we go, fourth place game.
Right? Yeah.
Well, what were you throwing? White Lusts?
No, I was
Mixed
throwing Commandments and loving them.
Commandments?
Yeah, they were money for me all weekend.
Yeah.
Doing really well. So, it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of people supporting me and cheering me on. It was.
Do you have like one shot or a couple of shots, or is there a shot that you remember that's in your brain that's a good one?
I hit 2 really good air mails in the fourth place game. So, where the crowd supported me pretty heavily, and that was a really cool feeling. I'd never experienced that before. So.
Oh, right on. So did you have headphones in or no? You're not a headphones guy.
I did not, no.
So you could hear everybody?
I could hear everybody and
hear the support?
That's right. Yeah. That's cool. So, also, in the next game, heard the.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Well, how about Juanito and Reef? We didn't talk about them. They took down Open Tier 2 doubles,
Yes.
right? And was that the Gritty?
That was it was a version of the Gritty.
A version inspired by.
Inspired by the Gritty.
They were rocking and rolling down the court doing that move.
Obviously, they're great players, but big shout out to Reef. Man, he really stepped up and just played amazing all weekend. He was making
top 60 greens.
Yeah, doing some crazy things with the bag, and I think one of the most amazing things about it too is he never lost his composure. There were some really, tough frames in that match where he could have lost it, and he stepped up and made every one of the shots he needed to make. Of course, Juan did his thing at the other end, and man, that was a fun match to watch.
Yeah, I got to see a little bit of it online, and it was awesome.
It was.
And the celebration. I mean, Reef and Juan play a lot, right? They might be here tonight. I think Reef might be at Big League Dreams, but they play together a lot, right?
Yeah,
so they have a lot of chemistry.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I think they just made the agreement sometime beforehand. Hey, if we win on the main stage, we're going to gritty down the court.
Yeah, and
they got the double dip to do that too. They played Jared and Levi Lechner. Yeah, we got two Levis. Got to get that last name right, but Levi Lechner, and it's they both hit. They had some great shots. I remember Levi hitting some real big ones. Jared hit some real big ones. Mm-hmm. And that was the games would start so loose. And then once they got towards the end, that's when you started seeing some misses that they probably wouldn't miss in a normal setting because there's the pressure,
Yeah.
Hey, this bag ends the game. Oh no, shank left,
And they were long matches too. I don't know how many frames they went, but 19, 20, 21 frames, whatever they went. That's the funny part about the Gritty is that I guess they did it after the match, and
Vaughn was gassed.
Yeah, they were gassed. They were so tired, and then. Whoever it was, I think it was CJ actually, had him do it again so he could get it on camera, and he barely made it down the court at that point.
Well, yeah, 2 out of 3 with a double dip. I mean, that was like an hour and a half match.
Yes.
It was a lot of bags.
Oh, it was long. I mean, long. I mean, they were trying to hold off games for the Open Championship, the main bracket, to be in the middle courts and not really have anything else going on with it. And it was getting towards the end of that game, and no, they're staying. They're sticking around. They're going to get their sunshine,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Good for those guys.
So,
all right, well, we have about 2 minutes left. Actually, only a minute left. So to wrap up this episode, what do you got?
Well, I'll give a shout out to the TCL crew. They got Ashton Burton running the store, ran real well, had the bag wheel idea. Was getting some bags out there to people for, I think it was $30 to spin the wheel, get it whatever it lands on. The tournament ran super smooth. Shout out JD and Nick Kanabe. They ran that real well. And then obviously, shout out Chad Jacobson for bringing the vibes and Jason Andrews for bringing the sanity.
I'll jump on that and say Andy Blada. You guys love those live feeds? You like going home and watching all that? Right? That is the most industrious man on the planet. Andy Blada figured all that stuff out. We have high quality HD 4K video we can go back and watch. All thanks to him.
Yes, it was awesome. Awesome. He does a great job. And it was on Facebook and YouTube.
And YouTube. You can go to YouTube and watch him.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, man. That's it for this episode of the Texas Cornhole Show.
Remember, it's just a game.